Hi, I'm Sharon Smith, and today I'm going to talk about overwhelm. Actually, I'm going to talk about a very specific type of overwhelm that happens when we are constantly bombarded by news. And we are. I mean, it's hard to get away from the news these days. It is everywhere. It's on every device, it's in our cars, it's on our phones, and so much of that news is just awful. And it can really knock us off balance and really overwhelm us. So we need some tools to maintain our balance as we go through this. Now, a lot of people would just say, hey, just don't look, just turn the news off. And I used to think that, but I don't feel that way about it anymore. I'm going to tell you why. I think that we have an obligation as human beings to watch and acknowledge all of these things that are happening, all of these bad things that are coming up in the world. And one of my favorite teachers, Carolyn Mace, has said that about all this bad stuff, that if we can't stand to look at it, who can? And I think she's right. So as human beings, and we're all in this together, we need to be able to look at this stuff. I'm not saying engage it 24/7, but we need to be able to look at it. So you got to have some tools to get through this and not have it knock you off balance or overwhelm you, because the news can really make you sad, can really make you afraid, and it can really make you mad. All of those things. Now, when we get knocked off balance, we become much less effective in the world. So it's a good practice to use some tools to keep yourself in balance, or if you get overwhelmed, to bring yourself back into balance. Now, there are some larger things I think at work here. And one of the reasons that we are seeing all of this really awful looking stuff come up. Now, I'll tell you why, or at least this is my take on it. Change is the way of all things. It's a constant, and we know this. It's an absolute thing. And change doesn't always look good. It can be really scary. And it can really be overwhelming, but change is out there and change happens. Now, the other thing that I know for sure is that you can't fix something that you don't see. So if you're going to solve a problem, you have to look at it first. Really look at it. So if all of us turn the news off and just don't look, the solutions to these things will take much longer. Now, when you are watching news and it upsets you or inspires you, whatever, you're going to probably take some action on that. And I support whatever action you feel like taking. But after you do that, you need to bring yourself back into balance. Don't stay out of balance. It's very important, if you're going to do this work in the world, to stay in balance, okay? Now, there are some really good ways, some great tools out there that I use every single day to deal with overwhelm and to stay in balance, because I'm just like you guys. I can't watch this awful stuff on the news without just, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But I am quick. Once I feel that, I am quick to take some action. I may watch it for a few minutes, but I'm going to take some action. I'm going to use grounding. I'm going to use meditation. I have a regular practice of that. And I'm going to use some EFT Tapping, which is my favorite thing in the world. Now, these are tools that everybody can use and everybody can apply. So, oh gosh, I have to tell you a quick story. This is so funny. I have a girlfriend. We watched the news the other night. We were on the phone. She's, oh my God, did you see that? It was so awful. And use your imagination. And I said, oh yeah, that was really, it was so sad. She said, oh yeah, I had to have 3 martinis to get through that. So, okay. So nothing bad about martinis here. Martinis have a place. They're just fine. But I would suggest that as a long-term game plan for energy management, probably martinis are not your best bet. Again, nothing bad about martinis. My friend is a sweetheart. She's coming back into balance now. So, we're going to talk about grounding first. There are a lot of ways you can ground. I have a great grounding video with a couple of exercises you can do quickly and easily on my website, apainplan.com. I think that all humans everywhere benefit from a regular practice of meditation. Now, this is a big topic, so I'm not going to go into it at length today. That's for another time. And there are a lot of people out there who work with this and teach this, so they're going to be better at talking about it than I am. But I really, really recommend meditation. It's something I do every day. Now, the third thing is to tap. And when we tap, and if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Just stay with me here for a minute. When we tap, we're going to use a mind-body technique where we physically tap on some acupuncture meridians with our hand, and we're going to talk. We're going to bring up the negative first. Now, it's kind of interesting to me that when we use EFT and we first bring up the negative in order to work with it, to change it, release it, whatever we're going to do, whatever it is we want to see happen with it, that's what's happening in the world. All of these things are coming up for us to look at. So, and we're doing that. You're doing that, aren't you? Yeah, okay, thought so. So tapping is kind of a similar thing, but it's a really great tool to help you get rid of overwhelm and to get back into balance if you're out. Now, as with all my tapping videos, before you tap with me, I need you to go to my website, apainplan.com, just like it sounds, and I need you to read and agree to my disclaimer. That's just one of the requirements if you're going to tap with me. So just pause me for a minute and go do that. Seriously, go! Really, I won't start without you, I promise. Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to do some tapping. And just, if you aren't familiar with this, just tap along with me. Just tap where I tap. You can't do it wrong. And repeat after me while we tap. And we're not going to say anything terribly weird. And I think you're going to feel better, especially if you've been experiencing that type of news overload. So we're going to start here on the outside of the hand. Karate chop point. Either hand, either side, whatever feels best to you. Oh gosh, I'm overwhelmed. All this awful stuff in the news. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do about any of it. Because I'm just one person. And it makes me feel so overwhelmed. Because I want to do something about it. And so I just feel overwhelmed. But I'm open to healing this now. Because I completely love and accept myself. And I honor how I feel about this right now. Okay, good. Top of the head. Or up here, very top of the head. It's still overwhelming. All this awful news. It makes me feel overwhelmed. I almost don't want to watch. But I do watch. And it's sad. And it's scary. And a lot of it really makes me mad. And then I get overwhelmed. Because I'm just one person. And what can I really do about it? So I'm overwhelmed. And I'm out of balance. but I'm open to healing this now because I completely love and accept myself, and I honor how I feel about this. Okay, now wrist points, and breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and say peace. Peace. Good. Okay, now let's bring ourselves back into balance as we release some of this. So just jump in, back to the top of the head. I allow myself to see a bigger picture and to know that it's okay. I'm human. I forgive myself for getting overwhelmed. I forgive myself for being overwhelmed by this awful stuff. I couldn't help it. But now I allow myself to come back into balance. I give myself permission to release all of this overwhelm. I allow myself to release this overwhelm from all of my cells. I release this overwhelm from my mind. I release this overwhelm from my entire energy system. It's safe to let it go now. Peace. Okay, good. Now let's do a little bit more here. Again, just back to the top of the head. If you learn tapping some other way, feel free to tap whatever points you want, whenever you want. This is just the way I learned it. I like to start at the top and work down. And since I'm out of balance, and I'm a little bit out of balance from all that, I allow myself to come back into balance now. I choose to balance my mind, body, and spirit. I choose to balance my left and right sides. I choose to balance my male and female aspects. I choose to balance my polarity. I allow myself to come back into balance now. It's perfectly safe for me to come back into balance. Okay, good. Now we're going to go through and talk about some different things about being human. And we're fond of saying that we're all connected. And so I'm going to remind us of that in this tapping round. And we're also going to do a little bit of work with maintaining peace in our lives, because that's a part of coming back into balance. And when you look at news and it's awful, it can make you want to really engage in a sometimes not a very constructive way. Now, Gandhi very famously said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that you must be the change that you want to see in the world. So all of us are talking about that we really want to see peace in the world. And we do. But it starts right here. It starts here with every single one of us. And being peaceful. Now that sounds like a good thing, right? Well, it's a lot harder said than done. It can be very difficult to maintain peace in so many situations. You know, how can we want peace in this country or between these countries when we can't even get along with our brother-in-law? Or we're fighting with our kids or our husband or our boss at work. So I would suggest that we need to use this tool to maintain peace within ourselves. So let's just go back here again and say, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can be peaceful. I'd like to, but I think somebody else is going to have to do it. Not me. I have way too many things that I can't be peaceful about. But I'm open to healing this now because I completely love and accept myself. And I honor how I feel about this. Top of the head. I don't know if I can be peaceful. But I'm open to trying. Maybe I could do it for a little while. I don't have to be peaceful all day, every day. How about if I just start now and just be peaceful for a little while? I could do that. So I choose to do that. I choose to be peaceful when I can. And to know that this is the step in the right direction that I need to take. And the more practice I have being peaceful, the better I'm going to get at it. And so I'm opening myself to being peaceful. It's perfectly safe to be peaceful. It feels good to be peaceful. I love myself, and I love all the people around me who may have contributed to my not feeling very peaceful. I forgive myself for not feeling peaceful all the time. I forgive them for knocking me out of balance a little too. I let them. I'm open to healing all of this. I allow myself to experience peace. Just wrist points and breathe. Peace. Okay, good. Now we're going to go back to the top of the head. I know we're fond of saying that we're all connected. I've even said it. And what if we really are? And there's a lot of evidence, scientific and otherwise, to suggest that we are. But this means something really interesting. If we're all connected, it means that we are just as connected to the people we don't like as we are to the people that we love. It means we're connected to complete strangers too. That's kind of scary. I choose to let go of being afraid of this, though. Wouldn't it be nice if maybe we really all were connected? If we really are, that means that one person counts way more than I ever thought. And that what one does to help themselves helps all of us. I choose to do good stuff now. And I give myself permission to remember that I am a powerful, eternal being, as are we all. And we're all connected. And I embrace this with joy and compassion and love. It feels good to do this. Peace. Okay, that was good. You did great. Again, I am Sharon Smith, and I have lots of resources at apainplan.com. You can come and visit me there. I also have a Facebook page. It's I think it's just A Pain Plan with Sharon Smith, but just A Pain Plan, and it's a more interactive experience. If you want to communicate with me, ask me questions, I'm there a lot of the time. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, guys.